So it's a warm welcome to this opportunity to take a break and use this short time to shift their thinking. And I really like this word reset because it describes, I think, what is happening in meditation and also brings the feeling of that freshness. So just like with your device, you need sometimes when it's running in a sluggish way to just completely reset it or reboot it. And sometimes it's because we've been running many applications at the same time, or we haven't shut it down for a while. And so in time, it kind of collects those loose reference files and it's like blocking the system. And I think in a way, what's happening with us is really quite similar. And we need to come back to this like a foundation where things are back to clarity and something original and something which is stable and familiar, which is that reset, that kind of original position. And I think, what is it that that is actually getting reset? What would you think on this? What is it that why would we need to reset the mind? And yeah, the understanding is that ordinary life, we're kind of living externally. So if, for example, I've done a piece of work or collaborating on a project and someone is speaking to me and they say, oh, this was like this was good, and if we take that kind of fragrance of that feeling that I am good because this piece of work was good, or this achievement or this skill is appreciated, then it leaves me living externally and it leaves me with like clutter in the mind, because the next day that person may say the opposite or may not say anything, or someone else can come along with a better set of skills, and it kind of leaves me like hanging around with these different extraneous thoughts. Yesterday, I noticed someone was complimenting the Zoom application, saying how efficient it is, and working all day with it. I noticed that I was taking that personally, as if I've got something to do with it. I'm just using it. So it's funny how we end up with these patterns. So I think we need to come back to like a reset where we are clearing the mind of all these small things, because it leads to familiarity and it leads to like dependency on the external for our, acknowledgement of who we are or our sense of self-worth. And I think it leads also to expectations that things should be a certain way because I've become familiar. And so let's take a few minutes to get the feeling of the stepped back, the reset, and what that actually is. And this sense of self, which is that original reset state, which is basically what is not changing, since we can safely say all our roles change, and sometimes rapidly, sometimes takes a little time, but they are evolving and changing. And same with everything in this physical world. So we are kind of pulling back to touch base with what is the true self, which is not subject to all this change. And this is like a reset and a aligning in a way. So if we take a few moments, we're going to use this image that this true stable self is this enduring actor, and that the changing world is all part of this, like a grand play, a really grand, wonderful stage, but it has those properties of change and end. So everything in it. So let's take this few minutes to come beyond that stage and touch the sky of stability for that mind reset. So really enjoying this opportunity right now to allow everything to be as it is. Just like the water is settling and finding that equilibrium. To the sounds which maybe are in the area where I am, or the movement, it is there, but I can choose to take a step back. This is being an observer. And the observer is distinct from what is happening outside, just as an idea. That whole inner world is different, not necessarily changing because of what is outside. We understand this observer to be that unchanging true self, the actor. This is so grounding, so helpful, because the actor can come beyond the stage. An actor is never from the stage. We're just feeling this separation and independence. You can see the stage as if down below, like looking at the earth from above. The scenes that we were associated with today are far down below and look very small. I notice any micro experiences of freedom that may come just from this thought experiment. The actor is so independent, emotionally free, and resonates very much with what is stable, which we can use the image of a sky to depict this stability outside of that changing theater in the distance. This is a spiritual sky. An important part is that what happens down below doesn't change this primary spiritual realm. Just like the real world is not influenced by a story. So the actor can truly experience his original and true state of unconditional peace. feels intuitively right that there should be this right to peace and security. This actor is independent from the part being played down below. This is the spiritual and the invisible actor, the experiencer, the conscious entity. Can say so free even from the scenes around the associated role. Because the actor in that primary world is at home in that sky. It was there before the role and will be there after the role is finished. The role is temporary, but this actor is immortal. Only in confusion we try to make the role somehow immortal on the stage. Actor is belonging to this free, timeless, and changeless spiritual sky. We just take a moment to observe the subtlety of our own experience. This joy that nothing and no one can change on a small stage. Of that quality of what is timeless and without boundaries. Freedom. Then this actor has this opportunity, this option to come and join, associate again with the role on the stage. That has touched that sky, that has such a clear and fresh mind, without the niggling insecurities based upon trying to make the role perfect on a stage. The actor can accept the part and play the game, not lose that primary freedom and fullness. The actor is safe and comes to visit the stage. This is revealing that true self, the personality which is sparkling and alive and fresh and full. The natural self, no clutter. more clear now, not to indulge into temporary happiness based on an ever-changing stage. As we go through the day, we have the option to remain in the sweetness, the original inner state of freedom, remaining the observers, playing the role, but not getting lost into the details. It is fun, and the feeling of being alive makes everything easier. Whatever the scenes are, we continue with this great play. Thank you. So I hope that this reset was something of intrigue, and maybe it's worth reflecting on this, but it all hinges around giving permission to take a step back and be completely free. And in those quality minutes, no need to think of the stage, as if nothing matters. The paradox is, when you do come and play the role, associate with the part, you can actually make more clear decisions and more efficient. Just like when we've had a short holiday, we can come back to the same tasks with the freshness. So we actually can play the role with less clutter, just like your machine will run better once it's had the reset. So enjoy. Thank you.